It was right here in this two-story house you see in front of you. A native son of Ohio and an American hero grew up. It was the ace of aces, Eddie Rickenbacker. He was born on October 8, 1890 in Columbus, Ohio, from age 3 here on 1334 Livingston Street. For those who may not know who Eddie Rickenbacker is, please stay tuned to learn about his fascinating life. It was this house right here that Eddie's father, Wilhelm, built with his very own 2 hands. I remember hearing a fascinating story about Eddie when he was a child. He was caught crying in the shed out back when his father asked him why he was crying. He said he was scared to die. His father gave him a switch. After this, Eddie would no longer be scared, and he would live an adventurous life. How cool. That happened right here. Now let's fast forward a bit to his life with automobiles and his life as a race car driver. His interest in automobiles all started when he worked for Evans Garage. His first experience at racing was as a riding mechanic in the 1906 Vanderbilt Cup. Another highlight in Eddie's racing career, he was a relief driver in the inaugural Indy 500. Here's another fascinating story. When Eddie was working for the Studebakers, their investors' money was running out. And if they didn't win, it was all over. So in a moment of desperation, he was willing to try anything. Well, his mother Lizzie suggested he try an old Swiss superstition to tie a bat's beating heart to his middle finger with red silk thread. Wouldn't you know, it worked. It could have ended all there. He would go on to race many more races and become world-renowned for his racing ability. Let's fast forward a bit to Eddie's life leading up to and during World War I. It was many chance encounters that led to Eddie Rickenbacker's story we all know today. From meeting Glenn Martin, to enjoying his first plane ride, to fixing a problem with Major Dodd's plane. The next important moment in Eddie's life, he was asked to be a chauffeur for General Blackjack Pershing and other army generals in France during World War I. Originally, Eddie wanted to be a fighter pilot. That wasn't in the cards just yet. A fighter pilot were recent college graduates, usually coming from means. It wasn't until Eddie met James Miller and he became a chief engineer in flight school. And he took every free moment to get the extra time in the air. And he finally got his shot. Finally, Eddie was a fighter pilot. He was asked to be part of the 94th Aero Squadron and later its commander. They would be tasked with engaging and clearing enemy aircraft and to protect other planes during recon and bombing missions. Here you see in this picture, this is the famous logo for the 94th Aero Squadron, the hat and the ring. There are 2 main planes Eddie is known for flying in. The first is the Newport 28 and the second is the Spad 13. Eddie performed in many dogfights during the war, one of which was against the Red Barons Flying Circus, as they were called. On April 29, 1918, he shot down his first plane, and then on May 28th, he claimed his 5th victory to become an ace. He would eventually achieve 26 aerial victories and become the United States Ace of Aces. Eddie's principles of engagement were never attack unless there is a 50-50 chance of success. Always break off an engagement that seems hopeless. Know the difference between cowardice and common sense. Eddie was well decorated as a fighter pilot. He would get 8 Distinguished Service Crosses, one of which would be changed to a Medal of Honor, which was presented to him by Herbert Hoover. Now it's Armistice Day. The war is over. November 11th, 1918. Eddie had many endeavors after the war, starting with the Rickenbacker Motor Company from 1922 to 1927.
Eddie would buy the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in November 1st, 1927. He would close the speedway after the Indy 500 in 1941 because of World War II to preserve needed materials for the war effort. In 1945, he sold the racetrack. Eddie would also create a comic strip, Ace Drummond, from 1935 to 1940. It also led into a film and a radio program. Eddie went into a number of other business ventures. He was the general manager for Eastern Airlines in 1935, and he bought it in 1938. He had 2 near-death crashes. One was in Atlanta in 1941 that left him pretty banged up and in the hospital for a while. The second one was aboard a B-17 Flying Fortress in 1943. He was forced to put it down in the Pacific. He was ultimately adrift at sea for a total of 24 days. In both of these crashes, the press actually declared him dead. Eddie Rickenbacker died on July 23, 1973. He was an American hero. What's up, everybody? This is Brandon with Off the Beaten Path. I hope you enjoyed this episode today. Make sure you like and subscribe, help grow the channel. Until the next one.